Hello everyone, we are back in the long dark today. We are in Pleasant Valley at the moment and we are going to be heading to the Little Red Barn and eventually the farmhouse just to see what loot is there because we just need to before we start making our way to Timberwolf Mountain and the summit and then eventually Ash Canyon and the gold mine. There's kind of quite a long leg of things at the moment, but I want to drop quite a bit of this stuff. I mean, I'm already carrying unrealistic levels of gear, so we don't need to be carrying all of this around. But yeah, we're going to be having... There's quite a lot of stuff to see. Get to. I think I'm going to carry these boots with us because if we get kind of snowed in, well, metaphorically speaking, we'll have something to tear apart or mend. I don't really think we actually need all 10 of these. We'll drop most of them. I generally don't use the flare pistols. Let's see, we don't need all of this. We'll drop some of it. Carrying way too much of some of this stuff. Gotta do a better sort on this stuff later, but at the moment we're just gonna toss everything down. Gonna take the fixins with us for the arrows because we don't actually have one that's functional anymore. We used the last one on that wolf and it broke. But we do have 7 arrowheads, which we don't have enough dried birch bark for that, but it's all cool. Let's see. I don't really want to get rid of too much of this stuff. I mean, I know it's still a lot. And then we have like a whole bunch of... Yeah, I mean, we'll... Oh, I didn't mean to hit drop all. Yep, I want to at least have one of these on me in the event something happens and I need to start a fire quickly. It's always good to have one with us. But yeah, we have loads of stuff to get to. And I'm just kind of debating because I know I originally said that we were going to keep our base in Mystery Lake. But there is a part of me that's kind of wondering if we don't want to have it here. But it does put us rather close to the cougar in terms of where the cougar ends up being once it spawns in. Which, I mean, we can avoid it. I've done it before. But we also have the moose right outside our door in Mystery Lake at the moment. And it's kind of like, you know, it might be better to stay in Mystery Lake. I was debating on eating some of these crackers. These are going to eat at least eat a little something. But yeah, I'm just kind of wondering what the best... I really should load this. Just to have it ready. Even though I never really use it. And then we'll have... But it's just kind of a debate. I mean, there is a place to fish on this map. Which we passed by that little fishing hut. But the cougar is going to be in our way in terms of the easiest way to get there. And I'm kind of just like, I'm not really sure. I mean, I'd like to be planning for the long term of being able to get fish. And Mystery Lake ends up being easiest for that. And, you know, we're still in the same space. You know, it's not quite the same distance, but it's similar enough in getting to Coastal Highway. That is such a pretty morning. Look how beautiful those pastels are. Doesn't matter how long I play this game, I still find dawn to be very, very pretty. Okay, should be at least paying attention because we do have the occasional wolf that hops in here, and there's a potential for a pack of timbers, which if they make an appearance, I'm switching weaponry and we're just going to take one with a rifle, because I still struggle with them. I mean, I don't hate them quite to the level that many people do, but they are definitely a problematic creature. I need to learn how to take them on with a bow a lot better than I know, because in Interloper and Misery, that's your only option. And I've just never been very good at it, and I have to learn, and we'll get there. I mean, hopefully, this series continues on longer, unless I really make some serious mistakes, and you're really going to be seeing me try to learn how to do certain things in real time. But in the meantime, we are going to be walking through here. I'm loving the way this looks. It is so pretty. But yeah, there's just some things I'm just kind of still mulling over and doing the pros and cons on a few things. So yeah, I'm probably, with even all this debate, I'm still going to say, hey, we're going to keep our base at Mystery Lake despite what I'm thinking. Just because once the cougar is active, it's going to be in the way of getting fish. And I mean, vitamin C on this difficulty isn't like as, you're not going to get scurvy as easily as you. So that was just a rabbit. I just saw the movement and I was like, wolf. No, it's just a harmless little fluffy bunny. Getting scurvy isn't as easy as it is on like Interloper or Misery. I mean, that's the whole point. The difficulty goes up. But at the same time, I like to be prepared. And there's really no harm in kind of getting in that thought process in advance. I mean, I'm well aware this is not as difficult as those other levels, which, I mean, we're starting out with this just because I kind of wanted to kind of ease the channel into it and kind of ease myself into making content for this. But there's absolutely no harm in using some of those methods that you would for Interloper or even Stalker on this difficulty. There's no harm in pretending and looking at it that way, even though this is quote-unquote easier. Because you'll get used to doing that stuff, and then when you hit those other difficulties, looking at the weather, I was kind of wondering if this wasn't threatening to go blizzard. Always prepared for a blizzard with this particular area. But, there's no wrong way to go about it. I mean, equally, if you choose to play this level and you're not thinking about higher difficulties, there's no harm in that either. There's no shame. There's no specific way to play this game. I mean, I think that's why it has certainly held my interest for so long, because there's so many different ways to play it. Yeah, I'm really just standing here going, is this going to go blizzard or not? I feel like this is thinking about it. It's okay. I mean, we'll loot in here. And then we will see where the weather's at. I mean, we could blizzard walk it, but we also don't have to. I mean, we have enough gear and things to keep us busy to kind of pass time and still have it be productive. And I'm not like super worried like, oh, things have to be really, really busy every second. But yeah, there's just a lot to debate on. I still feel like I'm playing with fire, not being more prepared with arrows. But I mean, As long as most it should be most okay. It's not like we don't have other weaponry and we're just like hoping for the best with a flare or a torch, which usually is my gameplay for Misery. Someday I will get to that level and you can all see me struggle with that, but I imagine Interloper is going to be far more entertaining. Although the last time I did at least attempt Interloper, I started out in Ash Canyon, and that's actually still ongoing. I just haven't gotten back to that. I'm still alive, and that's kind of like those higher difficulties, at least for me. I mean, I know there's absolute legends that play, this game and play at those difficulties and custom difficulties and things like that. But for me, I find that those higher difficulties, Interloper and Misery, every day it's a big deal if you survived it. And I think that's probably how it was intended to be until you master it, and then it's like anything less than that is easy because you've figured out the most difficult thing and you can just take it on and you're just an epic player. I have yet to master that level, but to me it's like I find that those difficulties, you celebrate every little thing because you're still managing to survive. And there's absolutely nothing wrong with that, and we'll get to that, and I feel like there's going to be this Misery series at some point of me just having attempt after attempt after attempt because I just want to see if I can survive long enough to get all the afflictions. But that is quite a ways away, and I am so far off topic today. I think I'm just talking to talk. Mostly because it's just looting this barn, and I don't really have any major plans outside of getting a few things looted today. So you get a lot of related but still very off-topic conversation. This is so threatening to go Blizzard. Just like, should we do it? I mean, it is just a straight line more or less this way. I mean, it's not that we couldn't do it. I think there's timbers right over there. At least 3 of them. I did not realize they would spawn right there. I knew there were some back that way. But that's the first time I've ever had some right there. And it could just be... Yeah, this weather is concerning me. I kind of want to check in there, but you know what? With the timbers out, since they do not despawn in blizzards, at least I'm pretty sure that is the case. I feel like somebody had said that and I packed that information away. If it is wrong, say something in the comments and go, hey, that's not right at all. They do despawn. But regardless, I don't really want to take on a pack of timbers in the blizzard. So what we're going to do is just, it hasn't gone blizzard. It might just be heavy snow. It might just stay that way. But I'm just not going to risk it, not for that. It's just too silly to risk that. So what we're just going to do instead is we keep picking up all these books. So we're just going to read for 2 hours. And then poke our head back outside after we have a little snacky snack. And see where we're at. I mean, I'm not worried about walking around the timbers as long as the weather is in good shape. I don't want to have to try to do it in a blizzard. It's too easy to get turned around in this map, at least for me. Which, it was designed that way. Not complaining about it, but I know me. I have frozen to death on this map before because I got overconfident. Oh, see, and there's the blizzard. Okay. I knew it was coming. Back in the barn. We shall wait it out. We've got plenty of food and clothes, and we're good. Can sleep in here if we need to. It's not like it's an issue. Oh, I forgot I picked up another... I don't know what I'm clicking on. Okay. Let's go ahead and we'll harvest this arrow. Actually, sorry, I didn't mean to bump my mic. I'm having so many issues today. I realized we have a workbench in here. Which means we can actually make some arrows. which would be a much, I mean, not that reading a skill book is a waste of time, but can be more productive by maybe making an arrow. I probably won't be making all of them because it does take a while. But even if we just do one and then we'll do one later, at least we'll have 3 arrows when it's all said and done, which is a start. I mean, I'd still like to have 6. Just for the sake of it, we'll see what the weather's like now, because I can't hear anything, but it's still blizzarding. And for some reason, it's not sounding blizzardy in the building. Usually I can hear the wind, but for some reason at the moment, I can't hear it. Okay, so that being said, we shall walk back up the stairs again and make another arrow. I mean, I knew the blizzard was coming. It ended up working out every other day. We get a blizzard, which we are kind of using up the entirety of the day here. So what we might end up doing is we'll make the arrows and then we'll just spend the night in here, which isn't really what I was planning on, but there's really no, I mean, we could walk it, but I just don't see any point in being too chaotic. We can just read for another hour. And then we'll have another snacky snack and we'll rest and see where we're at. At least we're using up this dog food because, I mean, I should have eaten the other one because the food poisoning wouldn't matter then. No, it's okay. We'll get to that later. Guess the reality is plans are always very fluid. It's just how things are with this game. I mean, it's still in the middle of the night, which even not being able to see, we can still happily take apart these shoes. We don't have to, quote unquote, see to be able to do that. So we can just get the leather out of this stuff. And then we will eat and drink again. And then sleep until we have full energy, and then we'll head out. We don't have to get out right at first light. I mean, it's really cold then anyway. And we shall try to head out again. Hopefully the weather is a little bit more conducive now. Doesn't mean we don't have back-to-back blizzards. Nope, just a little bit of fog, which is not really what I want to deal with either. I should pay attention in case the bear's out. Don't know where he is in his little walkie-walk. The timbers are still over there. It's just in case. Let's just be proactive. Don't see the bear. I don't remember. I don't have his route entirely memorized, like in terms of where he is when. Which I kind of want to loot over there, but we might swing by and catch that. Along the way. Especially with this fog, I don't really want it getting worse while I'm trying to walk. Particularly with the fact that there's timbers out. Which, I mean, they're over there. We're plenty distance away. We don't have to worry about them coming at us. But I know there is a possibility of a pack at the farmhouse. And Just because you have one in one location doesn't mean they're not in another. And I kind of just want to be mindful of that, and I don't really want to be dealing with them in heavy fog. Which, I mean, at worst, if it comes down to that, then you just hurry up and you make a fire and just kind of hide by the fire. But I'm not really caring. Kind of put down all of my tinder and stuff because I was being foolish, so I'm less prepared on that front than I should be because I was just overconfident about just skirting around things. But so far we're not having to worry about it, so still just kind of over-prepared with the rifle in case. Just because I just find this so much easier to just one-shot timbers with it. Still need to learn more with the bow, but that's just for another day when I'm a little bit more prepared. Or I feel more prepared, I should say. In the meantime, we're just gonna carry on and finally make our way to the farmhouse. And just kind of coming at this at an angle I usually don't go at, but I was trying to make sure I skirted the timbers well enough, and I went a lot further than was really necessary. But it's okay. I mean, we can still see this is nice and open. I just usually cut closer to the silo than I do, but I don't see anything at the moment, so it doesn't appear to be detrimental. Kind of keeping an eye out. There's usually a bear that walks around through here, at least more times than not. If I remember correctly, there's 3 bears that spawn in this region. I think that's what it ends up being, 3. And it's just where the caves end up being, except for the one that's in the birch forest that I was saying was there, and I don't remember the route for. That one's always there and always in the same spot. Just feels weird taking this from such a strange angle. But we got around the timbers without any problem, so I'm just not in the mood to tangle with them right now. Okay. Kind of debating on... I mean, since nothing is around at the moment, and the weather's conducive, I think we're just gonna pop on over. Making sure I'm not delusional. When nothing spawns at all, I'm like, I always think I'm missing something. I always say it's worse to have things and not be there than to be there because you're anticipating it the whole time. But I want to pop in here. And kind of loot, and then we'll go back to the house. Always check in here. Every once in a while I'll get Polaroids around some of these, and I can never remember which ones. Really not much at all. Let's see. This always takes me a couple times to do. Popping up here. Not because of the planks themselves, but there is one section in the, once we get there, the loft area doesn't actually have it scripted that it's a floor. So you will just keep falling through it. So you have to try to angle it to remain on the planks, which usually takes me a couple of tries. Actually, yeah, see, that plank doesn't even have, yeah. Gotta try again. I always mess it up a few times, but it's worth doing because often there is a rabbit skin hat. Not every time. I didn't actually turn to look and see if it was there, but there's usually something up here that makes it worthwhile. I just tend to fall through the floor repeatedly until finally angling things right. I imagine somebody else actually has figured this out to do it without falling through the floor every single time. Actually, there's a balaclava over there. Let's see if I go this way. Okay, yep, okay, we're good. That's the way you're supposed to do it, not the way I keep doing it. Yeah, okay, so it wasn't the rabbit skin hat like I was hoping for, but it's... Yeah, see, that's the thing, Ace Effect, it doesn't register that section of boards there. No worries, we got there. Which at the moment that's worth less, which it's fine. We'll repair it up and it won't be less than. And then we'll go to the farmhouse and see what all is there. Okay, I don't see anything I don't want to deal with. I always question the bear because I know that there's one route for the bear that comes right past that building. I have it tattooed in my brain the last time I had a base on the, in this map. I had the Traveler out and I think I was hunting deer and I was coming back with it and the bear was there in the fog. And I somehow managed to take it down before it got to me with a bow. So, I mean, it was a big deal. I remember it because I remember just being so startled because I didn't expect it there and I couldn't see it. All I heard was that roar and I was like, oh no. And somehow my reaction time was good enough to get it. I don't even know how it worked out. It also may have helped that I think my archery level was higher, so I had a decent hit on the bow, or with the bow. But, I mean, I don't even know how I managed to do it. But I remember that now. I mean, that's so much of the game is remembering. Okay, that's not actually helpful. We already know where that is. I can't remember where the one scrawled message is that actually has a cache with a bow in it. Which I'm not sure if that's true for every difficulty, like on the Interloper as well. Because I haven't done enough on on Interloper to know. I mean, it's not my my natural habitat. But we'll get there and someday, and you can see the chaos with me trying to figure that out. This is like a walk in the park compared to that. But let's hope that there is some decent loot to be found in here. At least we're getting plenty of carrots. We have to save a carrot. Well, at least one carrot for Larry the rabbit that lives in the cave between Forlorn Muskeg and Bleak Inlet, because I am one of those very strange people who agree that Larry requires tribute. He's the indoor rabbit, and I like to give him a mushroom, a rose hip, carrot, a potato, and some lichen, which is like a whole thing. The main reason for that is just, I don't know. I mean, it doesn't actually change anything. It doesn't give you luck. It's just a psychological thing. but I like to leave a tribute for Larry because maybe, he'll somehow make the game a little kinder in moments. I don't know. Just one of those silly things that came up and I agreed with it and I do it now on every run. And when we head back that way, which we will because we didn't finish looting Milton, and we also haven't done anything in Hushed River, which I think is what we're going to end up doing after we do Timberwolf Mountain and Ash Canyon, is we'll go and we'll hit Hushed River Valley. So we'll be better prepared at that point. At least I will be much more prepared at that point because I need all the help I can get with that particular region. Doesn't matter the difficulty, I'm still inept with it. I always forget what this picture is. I mean, because now we have the capacity to pick it up. It's people. Okay. I don't know. I just always wonder. It's like, what was that? Can't remember. Gotta fill up the lantern. It's starting to flicker. You probably don't really need it going, but I like to be able to, make sure everything is good and visible for myself as well as others. So can we switch? I don't know if I can switch out like that. No, it won't let you do that. It's registering as the same. I just wondered. Because this one has more fuel in it, so we'll use this one. At least we're getting quite a bit of good clothes. We'll pop up here, see what's up here. Then we'll go to the basement and see what's down there. But I think we have a good plan. I mean, we have so much to do just getting to Ash Canyon. The gold mine in Ash Canyon. And then, we're probably not going to be able to get to Hushed River Valley before the cougar activates. I don't know what I was thinking there. I already alluded that. Before the cougar activates. So we're going to have to plan on either trying to avoid the cats somehow, even though that's their territory, is getting, around that area. Or planning on taking on the cat to get there, which we're probably going to have to do anyway because the trader hasn't activated yet. Or, not the trader, I'm sorry. To do Tales of the Far Territory, we're going to have to go there because the one bunker is there. It's just getting confused. It's like, yeah, but the actual tale itself, we have to go there. So we're going to have to take on the cat at some point. I'm not moving fast enough with everything to manage to do that because, it takes quite a while to, even Broken Railroad, just to walk to, from Broken Railroad to Transfer Pass and then to Forsaken Airfield to get to the radio. That in itself is an episode just in walking. Got some salt. Always collect as much salt. We don't need it at the moment because we don't have means to make the box yet. But we will need it. And cured meat is really, really great to have. But yeah, there is a lot to get, and I am not really super familiar with cougar locations for all regions either. I know where the first one is for this map, for this region, but if I was to anger it, I don't know where the other two are. But I do know where they are in Milton, and I know where the first one is in Mystery Lake. The one in Mystery Lake is at least easy to avoid. And it's surprising that the one in Milton is in such a bad location. Because that is like, you know, touted as a beginner map. It's not a very kind location for something like that. It's really in a bad spot. But, you know, maybe that was meant to add a little extra difficulty. I mean, in the Cougar, you can turn it on and off. You know, you can turn it off. Maybe you kind of figure, you know, if you're turning the Cougar on, you know what you're in for. But the one in Mystery Lake, you know, at least that first one is really easy to avoid. And really, even the first one in for Pleasant Valley is easy enough to avoid. It's just kind of in the way of being able to easily get to that ice fishing hut in that pond. Let's see, I did not loot. Did I loot all this? Yeah, I guess I did. I didn't loot that though. Bag of flour. I think at the rate we're going, we can at least make some pancakes. Okay, so that is this place looted. Let's turn that off. I mean, we've still got most of the day. I mean, we could, as long as the weather is decent, we could easily walk back to the community center, which we might do that. I'm just trying to think. I mean, it's that, or if we wanted to go to the signal tower or whatever that's called up there and fix the transmitter that's up there and to see what's going on. So far we haven't found a humor, but I did not check that barn in between, you know, that little one that's in between. So it could actually be there. I've had it be there before. I think once. Sometimes there's a hacksaw there. But yeah. I think that's the plan at the moment. Just trying to... I mean, we're carrying way too much stuff, but it's fine. We'll sort a lot of this out before we start making the journey to Timberwolf Mountain, which we should get a hammer at the summit. Usually one of those crates has one, which at the moment we don't actually have a hacksaw. So we do. I don't know what I was thinking. I overlooked it. So yeah, we're actually set to go to the summit at the moment, which we're quite a ways away from it. But yeah, I'm just trying to think about everything, and we'll get it situated in time. It's just gonna take a little bit of tweaking, I think, or at least me changing my mind repeatedly. I do that a lot. But we shall see when we get there. Okay, I say let's make... sorry, I'm like, I know what I'm thinking. We're going to be walking back. Oh no, this weather's thinking about blizzarding again, isn't it? Why, weather? Why are you so against me? Alright, fine. If weather's gonna do this, we can just take a minute and let's just do a little bit of cleaning. So a few things actually could be repaired. Let me... Seems like a few things are just overly argumentative today. That or I'm expecting more out of it than it actually is going to be. That's going to be better quality. I do actually prefer this because it's better defensive capabilities. Just have some repairs that need to be made on some things, so we'll just kind of get better prepared since the weather's just not doing what I want it to at the moment. Or I'm just expecting too much out of it, I don't know. Could just be one of those days. But getting things repaired and in good shape is never time wasted, because higher quality gear means more warmth and more protection and etc., etc. And I'm not really too concerned about it because we have plenty of sewing kits and plenty of cloth, and we can be a little bit more, I don't want to say reckless about it, but, frivolous with a few things. It's, that's the joy of having as much loot as there is for this difficulty. Have a little bit of more food. We still have plenty of time. We have enough daylight. We could at least walk to the barn, provided the weather is cooperating. Which, even if it's like nice and bright, we can, like the moon and stuff, we could walk at night, as long as the aurora's not active. Oh yeah, the weather, this is nice weather now. This is spoiling weather. This is the kind of weather you want when you need to collect wood. Kind of makes me feel guilty that we're just walking around and we're not resource gathering, because this is great weather. I usually like to walk straight this way, but I know those timbers were there. But they might not be there anymore, because I think after a couple of days they'll kind of move on. There's a possibility they will. Their spawn rate isn't actually super high. Though it does seem to be higher in Coastal Highway. I still feel like there's that one pack in Coastal Highway that is just really common. Which, they can be avoided. They're really easy to avoid in that particular region. And really, even this one isn't too bad. I just like to be able to walk straight when I can. Oh, feather. Gotta pick up the feather. This guy always seems to have antibiotics or painkillers. It's like a guaranteed person for pharmaceuticals. Probably don't even need to have this out, but I just can't see well enough. And I guess, if the meter suddenly appears and we're dealing with timbers, and I wasn't paying well enough attention. Which is a possibility. Oh, yep, they're still there. I can see one. Thankfully, they walk differently, so even at a distance, you can tell. It doesn't mean that I haven't stared at many a rock trying to figure out if it was a wolf or not. Can't be the only one that's done that. But yeah, so we'll just kind of go this way, which we need to get to this one barn because we haven't looted it yet anyway, and it's nice and clear now, so we can see really well, which means if the bear's around, we don't get scared, you know, we don't get jump scared. Not really in the mood to get mauled by a bear right now. It's just way too problematic for my day. Though I would like to collect a little birch bark, but I have such a hard time with this forest because I think it's the pattern and how close the trees are together. It's almost really hard for me to see in it, which is really strange, but it's only this forest. None of the other ones. I mean, I know Ash Canyon has a little birch forest, and so does the Ravine in Milton. I don't have problems with those, but this one, I have such a hard time seeing in it. It's like it has a zebra thing going. I have no idea. It's just visually, I struggle with it. And I've always been that way, even before the visual enhancements and all that. It's just me. So I actually do the most I can to avoid it. Because I have such a hard time seeing. Oh, we got a book and tinder. Was kind of hoping for something different, but not seeing anything else. And we'll grab these rose hips, and fog is moving in. Did not check this thing. Still don't see anything I don't want to deal with. There was nothing in here anyway. It's worth a look. And there's a little bit of fog coming in, but all we have to do is make it to the barn and we'll sleep there. And then we'll continue our journey back to the community center. And then from there, we'll start making our way to Timberwolf Mountain. I mean, I know we're not getting every location we can loot in this region at the moment, but we can always come back. You know, we're going to be walking back through anyway. So what we can actually do is like get the plane crash and things like that when we come back through. I mean, we don't have to do it right this second. I was debating on getting those rabbits, but we don't really need to, and I don't really want to have to carry the guts and stuff with me. Which, I mean, I could always leave them here to dry, but I'm not really planning. I don't really want to have to make an extra trip back this way if I don't need to. So all in all, we can have a little food, just kind of chill out, and we'll head back to the community center, one little leg of the journey at a time. Kind of debating if I wanted to process anything, but we're not really carrying that much and we don't really need to. Which I guess we have some spare fishing tackle and we have some birch bark that hasn't been processed, so we'll just take a little bit of time and kind of do this. I mean, we never have to, it's not really a situation where we have to optimize our time and make every minute count. I'm not very good at that, which is probably why the higher difficulties are so problematic at times. I mean, where's the fun in it anyway, and trying to make every minute count? You know, the whole point is, we're doing this, we're having fun, and we're just surviving. There's no wrong way to play the game. As long as you're still alive, you're doing fine. And thus far, we're still alive.
I would drink almost anything about now.
Just getting through all of these cans of dog food. Which I know I probably should save some, but it's it's kind of one of those icky foods that it's, I don't really want to be on day 200 and still having to eat dog food. Let's see, I guess since we're kind of waiting on daylight anyway, we'll tear up a few things. Few things I want to keep whole just because they might be useful later. I mean, you don't want to get too chaotic with the higher grade stuff, which, I mean, we're going to probably find quite a bit of useful things at the summit. I mean, that's the whole point of the summit. I mean, because we'll have, what? I don't even remember how many wolves, possibility of 2 bears, and sometimes there's a moose in the way of that particular path, which anymore. Okay, we are pretty good to go. I mean, I'm not worried about temperatures. We don't really have to with this difficulty as much, thankfully. I mean, we got really good gear. We got so lucky on loot early on. Let's see, we are heading this way. I don't usually exit by that door. It was a little bit like disconcerting for a second. We're just gonna make our way back to the community center. Kind of excited to see what all we can find at the summit. I still haven't seen the wolf that's at the summit. I've heard about him since the wildlife refresh and, the new additions in that. There's supposed to be a wolf that spawns at the summit sometimes because they have a tendency of going on a killing spree with the ptarmigans that are up there. But I have never seen him, which maybe it's one of those weird things that doesn't spawn on Voyageur. Maybe it's just something for... Oop, I did not see him until the last second. Worried about a wolf I hadn't seen and not paying attention that there was that one. Oh, that was a bad shot. Okay. That was just me not doing a good job. Okay, let's hurry up and get this fixed. Don't want to attract anything else to us. And take a minute and quickly do this. It's always good to try to to take care of the infection risks as soon as it happens if you can. You can safely do it. Because it's so easy to forget and you don't want to actually get an infection because that is a massive problem then. I'm so annoyed. I had enough I had 3 arrows and now that... Which that was me just not making a good shot. I mean, at least I hit it, but that wasn't what I wanted to do. Guess if he happens to... Did he despawn? Huh. I was following a blood trail and it just disappeared. It's kind of a bummer. I was kind of hoping if he happened to drop not too far from home like we are now, I wouldn't mind the pelt. Ah, well, not everything is always in our favor. Which does remind me, I do need to make some fire-hardened arrows. Not for wolves, but it's actually a really fun way to hunt rabbits. Which I'm still more proficient using stones with rabbits. And when it comes to ptarmigan, they don't actually react to fire-hardened arrows. Which I've always felt is kind of a bug, because if you throw a stone and hit one or even miss, they all flee. But if you can kill one after the other with a fire-hardened arrow and none of them move, so you can take out the entire flock if you have enough arrows and don't miss repeatedly like I tend to. That small target can be a little bit challenging, but I guess it makes you better. The more you do it, the better you get at it. But yeah, kind of bummed. I mean, that wolf did actually despawn. It's always something. If I would have just aimed a little bit lower, I would have headshot it and not had an issue. But, we didn't lose that much health. I mean, it's just another lost arrow. Kind of lamenting that. Especially because we still don't have a good supply of arrowheads, because we haven't been foraging, because we haven't found hammer quite yet. Which doesn't mean there isn't one sitting on the bench in Forlorn Muskeg either, because sometimes that's like a really easy one to find in the Voyageur. Either way, we have made it back to the community hall. Let's see. Our gear didn't take too much of a hit, did it? It really doesn't seem like it. I mean, it could have been worse. It's not like it was a bear. Bears do a lot of damage to your gear. I mean, on average, you can still survive 2 maulings in a row. And continue, but your gear is going to be in really bad shape. And you're definitely not going to survive 3. Okay, so we actually have most of the day left. So I am really tempted to still drop off all these clothing items that I don't want to get rid of, but I don't need them at the moment. I think we are going to actually do the next leg of the journey to Timberwolf Mountain, because we can kind of take the long way and just follow the road, which, as I say, it is the long way. It's not as concise, but it's kind of easy. And a nice simple journey is not always a bad thing. See, I don't need to take all of those with me, but I want to set them on the gonna keep one of the marine flares just as an emergency backup, because Timberwolf Mountain does have timberwolves now. It didn't when it first existed, but since the wildlife refresh, they are there now. And it just doesn't hurt to have a flare that will deter them in the event of something. Which we should be okay. It shouldn't be an issue. But I would like to spend a little bit more time than I probably should in Timberwolf Mountain, because the cougar's going to be active for too long. And some of it's kind of like hurry up and rush before it becomes active. But equally, I really enjoy Timberwolf Mountain. It is one of my favorite regions. Even though there's times it can be a little challenging, I don't know, I love the Mountaineer's Cabin. And the fact that they have added the ability to repair the roof and stuff, it's just, I don't know, I really enjoy it. It just doesn't offer a whole lot of in storage space. Though I have seen some really creative people do a lot with a little bit of that space. With the safe house customization, which we will be able to get the woodworking tools for that. I really should go out this door in case that wolf is respawned. That way it doesn't surprise us too much, which I say that and it probably will anyway. Which I kind of want to just take this angle and go this way. You don't have to go all the way around that way. Cut a little bit off our journey going this way. But the safe house, yeah, so we'll be able to get woodworking tools in Miner's Folly and Ash Canyon. Which we're probably going to go that way anyway, because it's worth looting there. We'll just have to skirt around Boris the bear. And there's possibly a moose there, which I haven't named that moose yet. I don't know why I haven't named that moose. If you have a name for the moose that spawns near Miner's Folly, let me know. I'd love to hear what you call it. That's the joy of comments. I really like to actually hear what names you come up with stuff, because I don't know. I mean, it's a community thing. I think everybody just kind of agrees on some things, like fluffy and sketchy and scruffy. I think the newest one is Maisie, isn't it? The one that's in the big cave system that connects all the Far Territory stuff. At one point I think I thought Maisie's name was something else, and then I had to look it up again. I'm like, okay, it's Maisie, yeah. But it's always just kind of fun just to see, because humans have to name things. It's just, I think it's in our DNA that we just need to have names for things. But I haven't named that moose yet. Probably because it's still kind of new to me and I haven't spent a whole lot of time in that area in Ash Canyon, even though the views are really nice. Ash Canyon's not one of those regions I spend a whole lot of time in. I mean, I should. I need to spend more time there so I can just learn all the ins and outs and how to survive in that. Just got stuck in the snow there. The best way to learn any region is to do one of those little keg stand challenges and just never leave that region. You just stay in it. You make yourself learn it. Which has never worked for me when I've tried that for Hush River Valley. I just cannot seem to learn that map. I've tried, and I mean, sometimes I go there and it seems like I'm an expert and I know everything and I'm doing great. And other times, I figured this wolf was here, but I was kind of hoping they weren't. Which way are they facing? Oh, now they're facing, and they've registered I'm here. Okay, I was really hoping to avoid you. I will take you on, though, if I have to. That's how I wanted to do the other one. Which I'm not even going to harvest anything off of it, because I don't want to be carrying anything that's going to produce an odor, because we have quite a ways to go. This is, like I said, this is not the concise way, but I also wanted to hop down here, and sometimes there's some interesting stuff in these. I think there's a second car down there. I'm trying to think. Now that I'm thinking about it, I'm questioning myself. Can put that away. I don't think there's another wolf around. It was just that one. Yeah, but there's like a pry bar. I mean, there's stuff we really don't need at the moment, but there's some really good loot that can be hidden in this car. If you don't have it, it's worth having a look at it. And I don't know why I feel like there's another vehicle down here, but it could also be thinking of the other end, which connects to that little area. Oh no, there's a corpse down here. Yeah, I think I was thinking of that little area that connects to the little section that will lead to Black Rock. I can't think of what that little transition area is called. Which there's multiple parts. It's actually a really big area, and it's the only place at the moment in the game that has a wrecked semi that's blue. It's the only location. It's kind of one of those fun things that has a few unique traits, including a one of those large two-man saws that's stuck in a tree stump. It's also the only place that's located at the moment. Which I find it a lot of fun when there's unique stuff, and I'm kind of interested to see with the new region that's going to happen when you get episode 5, what that map's going to be like for that region. I know they're called regions, but I have a tendency of saying maps, but you know what I'm talking about. This new, I mean, I love when there's new areas. Like, I was so excited for the addition of Tails, which I know it slowed down other stuff because of some snags and stuff, but what got released is really, really good. I know there's still a few things that need to be ironed out, but for the most part, they were really fun additions. Even though I'm not a big fan of Sundered Pass. But that map will actually, I mean, if I took it seriously, is really realistic and would really challenge, because the higher up you go, it's like so bitterly cold. I remember when that first got released, I was like, oh, I'm just gonna start a quick new game. I had everything else unlocked, and I was all set to go. So, it wasn't like having to do any more than that. And I was like, I'm just gonna start a pilgrim run and kind of explore it, because I didn't want to risk any of my more in-depth saves just to kind of mess around and see about it. And I froze to death on Pilgrim, and it was like, whoa. I mean, because Pilgrim's generally pretty kind with the weather. I mean, I'm not saying I haven't frozen to death before on Pilgrim. I mean, I can give you a whole list of times that I made mistakes when I was learning things. And I mean, you can still die on Pilgrim, but it's not like, usually you don't get temperatures that seem like it's interloper level. Of course, then when people were saying, what the temperatures were on Interloper, it's like, wow, that's just not a nice area at all. But there is that one area, that one cabin. I think it's the Lonely Cabin. It's the only structure in that one area. And that's kind of a nice area, because you do have, I don't remember if the water's deep enough there to fish. I feel like I was checking that at one point, but the only thing you have to worry about there is well, there's really nothing there. I don't know if wolves will wander through every once in a while, but I hadn't seen anything. So it's just kind of like a really remote, relaxed cabin. And then further up in that one trail, you start to have those little A-frame little cabins. And then you start into like the timbers, and I know there's a bear, or possibly two. I haven't spent enough time there to really know everything in depth. Which, I mean, we'll get there eventually, as long as I don't keel over before then. Just kind of trying to be proactive at the moment, because you can get a wolf, I think, up further. I mean, I'm kind of hoping to avoid, because it'd just be nice not to have to deal with it. But I mean, we have means to if we need to. And we're just taking the long way anyway, but I really wanted to loot that one car. And we have this cave, which to my knowledge never has anything in it. But I know this carcass was here, and feathers are always good. Just kind of glance really, really quickly. Yeah, there's never anything here. I think this is just there in the event of bad weather. It kind of gives you a place to run and hide in if you need to. Just happy to have the extra feathers. I mean, so far so good. I mean, looks like the snow's easing up. I wouldn't mind a nice sunny day just for the sake of it. Okay, there was the other wolf I was thinking about. Which, if they go that way, we'll go this way. And hopefully not run into each other. Still gonna kind of walk like this a little bit just so I can see. I hate when they bark in my ear. Yeah, they're going that way. We should be fine. And then we'll swing by right here and see what's in. I think there's a memento hint or whatever. Because if we go that way, we'll hit plane crash, which that's just not where we're heading at the moment. We will get there, but I kind of want to get to... We also haven't checked the prepper cache, which is also that way. We'll get there. Of course, I haven't been mapping any of this, and at some point we're going to have to come through and properly use the charcoal and map the area out. Okay, yeah, that was the one for... Hunting knife in the glove box, that's a new one. Okay. Going to get... You know, I just realized I'm pretty sure that we had 3 arrows, and we still have 3 arrows, and I shot one into that wolf. I think the game didn't math right. Oh well, so we're not actually out what I thought we were. Okay, yeah, I was keeping an eye out because I knew that one was somewhere. And we're gonna end up running into it because I need to go. I mean, unless I can... Actually, we probably can avoid it. Let's avoid it. I have a tendency of just being like, yeah, we'll just take it on, whatever. But really, it's bad practice. We should at least try to avoid it. See, it's all the way over there, so we should be okay. That was the only wolf that's in this area. Cup of coffee. Pop into this abandoned bunker, or cache, whatever you want to call it. This is the one that's always abandoned. And we'll see what's in here. And we'll probably rest in here, and then the next day we will climb the rope and make our way to Timberwolf Mountain. We got another arrow and a mag lens. That's really lucky loot. Oh, and we've got even more revolver ammunition. I was kind of hoping to find the gold, the gold nugget. So that can be in several different places. It doesn't have a purpose. It's just one of those items you can find, and it's just cool to find it. Which I'm pretty sure I've gotten most things. I mean, we'll probably clear out these boxes and stuff, because if we do the trader quest, like all of it, this bunker won't be accessible by the end. So I mean, there's a lot of scrap metal to be collected and things like that, so. I was gonna see, I mean, we're still in the middle of the day, but I think we'll maybe go hang by the entrance here, which is always funny if it's open. Just imagine a wolf accidentally falling in. That's something nobody needs. And we'll just kind of read a little bit and just kind of bide our time, because I really don't want to have to rush through to Timberwolf Mountain, because I would like to be a little more prepared. I mean, it's not too hard to get to the mountaineer's hut, but it's just better to be methodical about some of it. So we'll just kind of spend our time today and come at it fresh in the morning. Definitely want to keep both of those. And since we've got time, we're just gonna do a little maintenance on this as well, so you know it's in good working order. I mean, the best way to repair this stuff is to go either, you know, have the, where the ammunition benches are, there's one of those machines that, I don't remember what they're called, but they only work during the Aurora, and you can repair certain things with scrap metal. I can't remember what that machine's called. It just makes an awful noise, and there's one in Bleak Inlet and one in Black Rock, but we'd have to do, you know, the process of getting to those locations. I can't see where the bed is. I was hoping I could just get there without having to turn the light on, but yeah, I'm standing right next to it. No wonder I was looking at the wall. Okay. Either way, we're going to be nice and prepared and be able to take Timberwolf Mountain on without too much stress. Okay, we have got our rest in. Let's at least eat something. I don't know where we're at time. I just have to look. But, you know, let's get at least our meters all in good shape. Yeah, we're still quite a few hours away until dawn. Trying to see what all we can do in the dark while we wait. Which I guess we can kind of spend a little time doing odd things. Let's see, and what are we at? Like, we still don't have a very good cooking level, but we have a few things. I mean, we can make pancakes at level 2. I'm just kind of looking around since I have spare time, and I just keep clicking on the wrong thing instead of what I wanted, which is this one. I went right past it. Yeah, we still have really bad levels on everything. But if we can get to cooking level 2, then we can make pancakes, which we're about halfway there. I mean, we haven't done much in anything, but I mean, at least archery is level 2 at this point, so that's better than level 1. I think we can, yeah, we're just going to have to pass a little bit of time. And then we'll sleep a little bit, and that should at least get us where we need to go. I'm not too worried about it being so early in the morning because we've got good gear and it's fine, and we're really not going to be traveling that far. I mean, realistically, it's not that far. I just wanted to be able to do this at full energy. I mean, it's not a very difficult climb, but you don't really want to be almost at the top and then having problems either. Especially because at the moment we don't have the crampons, which we will get considering the direction we're heading in. I mean, I could have made an improvised pair, but we're kind of just moving at a decent clip anyway, so it's not too critical to, go this way instead. I mean, we've got quite a few ropes in between us and the summit, which every once in a while you can actually get a second pair of crampons at the summit, and then you have also one in the gold mine. Doesn't always happen, but occasionally there is a second pair, which I can't say I would say no to have a backup pair. But we gotta get there first, and it's gonna be a while until we do. And at least we're into Timberwolf Mountain. Have the bow out for now. I don't think I'm gonna need anything with more firepower. A lot really depends on how things spawn. And we shall see. Figure it's good to at least pick up a few sticks. It's kind of just gloomy enough from the fog that it looks kind of eerie. Kind of just trying to look because sometimes you'll get a moose around here, but I don't see any rubs. Although I did learn that sometimes you'll have a moose in an area even though there aren't any rubs. So that's not always a good telltale. And it's made me very cautious. So we kind of just need to go in this direction. More or less. As long as we hit Crystal Lake. It is Crystal Lake, isn't it? I want to say it is. I feel like I'm questioning that, like it's not actually the right thing. I'm gonna have to just go there and be like, yeah, I was right. So now I'm questioning myself. Just kind of go this way because it's just nice and open and visible. You don't have any surprises with wolves being at the top of the hill and then, it just goes straight into a struggle. It's good to try to avoid those whenever possible. Get a can of peaches. I mean, there's so much loot to be found on this map. Not to mention there's loads of cattails, which we'll probably go around and we'll pick those up at some point. I just kind of want to get my bearings and see. Yeah, it is Crystal Lake. Just kind of want to get my bearings and kind of double check things because sometimes you'll get some timbers around here. I guess I just want to know. I mean, it doesn't mean that they won't show up later. Really, it's like nobody's around at all, which is worse. But at least we've made it this far. Now all we have to do is go up there, which is a lot further than it looks. Yeah, there's just regular wolves around at the moment, because right there's one. Pretty sure we can just avoid it, because all we're doing is we're just gonna... Oh, no, we didn't get to avoid it. It kind of startled me. I did not anticipate them to register that far away. We will be be harvesting them in just a second. I want to see what's in here. Got a flare and a hatchet. Another hunting knife. Finding a lot of useful goodies. I feel spoiled. I really could put the bow away for this, but considering we're just going to walk right back out in a second, I'm not really too fussed. Let's see, nobody's around me. Just to double check before I start doing this. It's always good to check before you and I'm paranoid and have to check around again before I pick up these lovely, lovely feathers. Okay. At least we got another wolf pelt. I mean, we still need, they're scattered everywhere, so we can't even make something, even if we had enough at this point. Just taking a minute and, I'm pretty sure there's nothing on here, because usually the only thing that's here is a hatchet, but the hatchet was in the ice fishing hut. But I always have to look. And then oh, I'm going such a weird angle. I don't know what I was thinking with that. Oh, got another hacksaw. Close the door. Okay, and we'll drop the guts and the hide to start curing. Get another arrow that's at least complete. Yeah, there's loads of good stuff, and we're like nowhere near like the really good stuff. We haven't even checked to see if the cache has anything in it. Let's see. Yeah, that was the Echo Cave or whatever it's called. An aviator's cap. That's a good find. Definitely wearing that. It gives us more resistance, a little bit more armor, so to speak. We don't need to carry all of this stuff with us at the moment. Can just kind of do a little bit of a cache on some things. It's going to be easier to place that once I reload this area, so we'll kind of come back and do that. Which I'm kind of, we don't really know if I want to worry about making our way right to the summit this second, because it's going to take a while to get there. But we can drop all this extra stuff we don't need at the moment. I'm going to take the climbing rope with us just in case. I definitely want to get these mag lenses and stuff off me, because they don't wear out when you use them, but if you get mauled by a bear, then it's like any other item in your inventory, and it can get damaged. Which, I mean, those two are in really good condition, but I don't really want to risk them either. And we've still got loads and loads and loads of matches, and considering that is one of the perks of this, we're just gonna make use of them for right now. And kind of just put a lot of things we don't need. I can't remember which one of those we had already read. It doesn't actually say when you click them on them with looking at an inventory like that. Which did we pick up? No, I dropped them all. Okay, I was gonna say if we had others, I was gonna set one on here, but no. So yeah, I think what we're gonna end up doing is we're gonna start the journey to the summit the next day, just so we're at completely full energy, which, I mean, we could theoretically sleep, but I don't know. I'm not really feeling the need to do it at the moment, which really, with nothing around and the weather's decent, I really should take the opportunity to, at the very least, just pick up some sticks. I mean, we could get these without any issue if we wanted to collect some better wood, but I'm just kind of, I think we're just going to ease into it a bit. So yeah, the cattails I said I was going to wait on getting, I'm just going to go ahead and get them now. I kind of feel like I'm wasting the day and not traveling, but we don't really need to constantly be on the move every second. There's no harm in just taking a little bit of time to collect a few resources like these. It's one of those really good food sources to have cached in different places anyway, because they never go bad. And they're also a source of vitamin C. Not a very good source of either calories or vitamin C, but they are something. Have a nice, easy collection of some goods. I mean, we definitely are going to have to start making our way to the summit soon, which, I mean, we just got here, so we don't have to rush too much. But it's going to be one of those multiple day journeys there and back.
Maybe snow if the hypothermia wouldn't kill me.
So yeah, we got a plan for that in terms of the amount of time it's going to take, and still want to get to Ash Canyon in a decent amount of time. I should pay attention. Sometimes I don't see any wolves, but I keep expecting one. Well, I mean, aside from the one we already got, but sometimes there's There's bigger packs around here. I'm surprised it was just the one. Which there's a lot of good looting to be had on this map, so just not sure how much we're gonna do before we go to Ash Canyon, or if we're going to go to the summit, and then once we get back to drop all that off at the hut, if we're gonna just go straight to Ash Canyon and do all that, and then when we come back, do the rest of the looting in here, around here, which could work. I mean, there's really no time limit. There's just a few places I wanted to get to before the cougars everywhere. But even at that, we're not going to be able to avoid the cat forever. There are certain places where it's going to be an issue for us. But the whole reason I turned it on was so I would learn how to handle it. So it's something else that you guys get to see me learn how to do in real time. Thankfully, at least Voyageur is a little more kind with that. And the methods still transferred just fine. Difficulty to difficulty. Which is nice. It's not like it changes the behavior of anything. It just changes the damage they can do. So it does, things do translate really well from difficulty level to difficulty level. Which is, I think, what makes the game unique, because methods do work one to the other in some regards. It's just Interloper and above is a whole different game. Or at least people say that, and I agree, because it's a different strategy. It's it's less kind, and you have to approach it differently. You really don't need all these cattails, but I just feel like collecting. I'm sorry, I think I just need a little bit of a calm time before we get into things like making our way to the summit, which might be more problematic than it appears, especially if there's a moose in the way. If there's a moose in the way, that is going to change everything. Which, it doesn't make it impossible to get there from here, but if there's a moose in the way, I'm probably going to have to take the moose out. And I don't really want to waste the moose if I'm going to do that. So it raises a lot. I can probably, it's just, I've done it before, but it's how to approach it and not wasting the resources, because a moose hide is really great because we can make a moose hide satchel. But I think for right this second, at least in this particular episode, I'm going to call that a good place to stop. I still have a few more things that we probably could do today, but it just seems like a good stop point, and we can kind of pick it up in the next one and ease it to what's going to be. So for right now, I feel like this is good. So that being said, I want to thank you all for joining me, and I shall see you in the next episode. Ta-ta for now.